Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Emma Lingard. My guest tonight is internationally acclaimed classical composer Patrick Hawes, who's here to talk about the world premiere of his work, The Angel of Mons.
Join me later for the sport.
But first, it's over to Richard Morris for the news.
Hello, in the headlines today, GCSE results have been released for our region and a model railway is letting visitors sit on their trains. Yesterday, hundreds of thousands of 16-year-olds nervously opened their GCSE results. North of the Humber, 3 schools in Hull have received their best ever results and a further 5 have made significant gains on previous years. Meanwhile, in Grimsby, Havelock Academy posted their best ever results for the 4th year running. We got reactions from some of the students and the principal.
I finally got an A-star in English language, which I've been working my butt off to get. And I got A's, mostly C's and B's.
I've done reasonably well. I didn't get to the personal targets that I set, but I got to the school targets. I achieved or surpassed all my target grades at school.
We're very proud of the students this year. I'm very proud of all of our very talented members of staff and children who have recorded the best ever GCSE examination results in this school's history for yet another year.
Grimsby's East Marsh councillor Steve Besant has hit back at claims from the Daily Telegraph that the area is the worst place to live in the country. The league table compared household incomes, health and crime statistics. In over 7,000 places compared by the Daily Telegraph online, the East Marsh ward of North East Lincolnshire came out bottom. Councillor Besant says the East Marsh is his life and the people there are the salt of the earth.
And I'm fed up of these attacks on the East Marsh all the time. We've got programmes running around, TV programmes, not your TV programme unfortunately, looking for stories about Benefit Street, whatever, and they're looking for continuous stories pulling us down. And to be honest, we are on the up in the East Marsh. We've got great organisations out there opening up new organisations on Freeman Street, like the Warehouse, doing absolutely fantastic work. We've got the docks, which is being transformed with the renewable energy projects. And if you come back in 10 years' time, people will be employed in the renewable energy sector and they will be employed in new industry, they will do. The docks will be totally transformed.
This bank holiday weekend, visitors to Cleethorpes will be able to witness the UK's top fishmongers compete for the title of British Fishcraft Champion. The event has been running for 60 years and is organised by the National Federation of Fishmongers. The weekend will feature filleting and cooking demonstrations alongside the judging and awarding of the winner.
This is a national event. It's the British Fishcraft Championships. Brings in thousands and thousands of people. Before it's been in London and in Cardiff, and now it's in North East Lincolnshire and Cleethorpes. It is at that kind of level, and when they came and they said, well look, we'd like to do it showcases Grimsby, and we'd like to do it on the seafront in Cleethorpes, so therefore it brings in the whole of the borough, and it's good for business. And they want footfall, Cleethorpes, and a bank holiday weekend, you couldn't get a better place for football really.
A couple on the Humberston Fitties are aiming to raise even more money than they did last year for the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. Last year, Diane and David Tovey raised £1,000 and a penny and are hoping to raise even more this time around. They sell all their baked goods from their chalet garden on 11th Avenue.
We don't set a target because I think that's a bit silly. We've done it one year and we raised about £1,096 and we were absolutely gobsmacked. But with how tight money is, we're just thankful for people coming round to support us.
On Wednesday, the Model Engineering Society hosted their last weekday event for this year. But fans of the model trains, which operate with real steam, won't have to wait for long before the next outing. This bank holiday weekend, the trains will be operating from Saturday through to Monday afternoon.
We've had the plans passed now by the council to add about another 300 metres of track, which will utilise the whole of the site. There's quite a large area not in use at the moment, and we're at the moment sort of gathering costings to be able to pursue this endeavour. We generally run, weather permitting, up to the beginning of November, when the mill has their firework night. And that's usually the last of our running days.
That's all from me for now. If you have a story for us, then please call us on Grimsby 315561. Bye for now.
The Angel of Mons receives its world premiere this Saturday in Lincolnshire. The piece of music comes from the #1 selling classical album Angel, composed by Patrick Hawes and his brother Andrew, who wrote the words. And all profits from the concert will go to the Royal Anglian Regiment Benevolent Fund. Well, Patrick is here in the studio with us. Thank you for coming in. No stranger to Estuary and originally from Grimsby.
Yes, isn't that amazing? I was born in Peaksfield Avenue, which I think is now Peaks Parkway, is it?
Well, Peaks Parkway runs, yes, but it's still there.
It is still
there. Now, this piece of music, I know you came in before to talk about Angel, but the Angel of Mons itself, just tell us what inspired you to write this.
Yes, well, I wrote the Angel album last year and it was released earlier in the year, and one of the most important influences behind me writing the album is the story of the Angel of Mons.
Right.
And Saturday is the exact anniversary of the apparition of the Angel of Mons.
Right.
Now, the apparition of the Angel of Mons, what is it? Well, in the very first battle of the First World War between the Germans and the British, which took place outside the town of Mons in Belgium on August the 23rd, 1914.
Right.
There was great confusion among the British ranks. They weren't very well disciplined, and the weather was very wet and misty, and this kind of added to the sense of disarray and disorganisation. And after the battle, over 100 British soldiers, many from the Royal Anglian and Royal Lincolnshire regiments, claim they saw the vision of an angel, which pointed them to safety.
Right.
Now, when I heard this story, especially with the connection with Lincolnshire and Norfolk, where I now live, I thought, this is amazing. And as a composer, felt I had to write something about it. So, on the one hand, the Angel album, which I think we've got a copy of here.
We have, yes.
This grew out of it.
Right.
But more importantly, for the moment, this bigger work called The Angel of Mons also grew out of it. And because the exact centenary is on Saturday night, that's when we are going to perform the premiere. So it's quite a special event.
It is. I was going to say, having that is very significant, isn't it, on that day? And in a church, which is what, St Michael and All Angels as well?
Yes, see, another. I can tell you the coincidences to do with angels. Like, we recorded the album in Angel Studios.
Right.
I mean, in London, we didn't plan on that. It just kind of happened.
These things do.
They do. They do, and once the angels get hold of you, they don't really let you go, I can tell you that.
Now, I have been listening to some of the excerpts, and it's a beautiful piece of music, isn't it, that you've composed there?
Well, I hope so.
You hope so. Got to #1, the classical charts. Now, appearing with you, let's talk about who's going to be appearing with you, because you've got a fantastic soprano on the album, haven't you? Tell us about...
Well, the soprano on the album, which, as you say, reached #1, and I think it had a lot to do with the soprano, is Grace Davison, who's not a name who's known particularly, but she is very up and coming. She sings with a lot of the early music groups in London and actually all around the world. But she has one of these voices which is incredibly pure, and that's quite attractive to a lot of the public who don't really like the kind of the fat, warbly vibrato sounds of opera singers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She's got this kind of pure sound. It almost sounds like a boy treble.
Yes.
So she's going to be there on the night, because I've written the solo for her, and that's very exciting. The choir and the orchestra are formed of people from Lincolnshire and the surrounding areas. We've got some of the singers from the cathedral choir in Lincoln. And quite a lot of this has been organised by Martin Pickering, who's well known in Lincolnshire. He conducts the Louth Choral Society and was at the Aston School in Market Raisin with myself and my brother. And Mark Wilde is the other singer, who's quite well known internationally as an opera singer and lives in Lincoln.
Okay, so this is a nice local connection there as well to bring this together.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the performance on Saturday is happening at St Michael and All Angels Church, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tickets, then, if people want tickets, what do they need to do?
Well, the best way is to go to my website, patrickhawes.com, where they can get a link through to Eventbrite, which is the website. You can phone the vicarage in Edinham. You can look up Edinham Vicarage.
Okay.
But I do think there'll be some tickets left on the night
so
too.
People can buy that. Well, we're nearly out of time there. Just quickly, any plans to do Angel of Mons anywhere else?
Well, we're hoping, once it's premiered on Saturday, people know it's out there. We're hoping choirs throughout the country will want to perform it during these next 4 years of the World War I centenary.
Well, thank you, Patrick, and good luck for that concert on Saturday. Well, just to remind you, the concert takes place this Saturday at St Michael and All Angels Church in Edinham near Bourne. Tickets are available through Patrick's website, which is www.patrickhawes.com, or as Patrick said, you can buy them on the door. So there's some interesting people there. Right, well, it's that time now. Dan Kemp is here for the sport. Dan, anything exciting to tell us?
We've got interesting news about a football club in Hull that made its first home game.
Now, is this the one, I did read this, is this the one where the man was paying people to go watch?
Yep, the new manager and chairman, Jamie, is paying £2 to all fans that go to their first home game, which happened on Wednesday.
Oh, so can you buy a coffee for £2?
I think the beers were £2. So basically, it's a free beer.
I could have gone, couldn't I? Not that I'm into football, but yes, I could have
It could be for £2 though, I think. Anyway, we'll start with Rugby League and Hull FC, who have extended the contract of their captain, Gareth Ellis. The former England international joined the Black and Whites back in 2012 from the NRL's West Tigers and will stay with FC until at least 2016. This weekend, we have another round of Premier League, Football League and non-league fixtures to look forward to. Hull City host Stoke City at the KC Stadium on Sunday. The Tigers are without big money summer signing Robert Snodgrass, who starts his approximate 6-month absence with a dislocated kneecap. The game kicks off at 1:30 for TV coverage. Scunthorpe United make the long trip to Yeovil this weekend. The Iron are looking for the first league win of the campaign after losing 2-0 to Fleetwood in midweek. Grimsby Town are also on the road as they head north to face Gateshead in the Conference, and North Ferriby United travel to Boston United in the Conference North. Hull's newest football club, Hull United AFC, played the first home game on Wednesday night. Entry to the game at Hull Road Rangers' Dean Park ground was unusually priced as club manager and chairman Jamie Waltham, a former North Ferriby United player, gave each attendee £2 for their trouble. Former Ferriby midfielder Danny Clark is now captaining the side. Cadwell Park is hosting the MCE Insurance British Superbike Championship this holiday weekend. Louth's Peter Hickman is in buoyant mood as he looks forward to competing on his home track. Other riders taking part include Japanese star Raicha Kayanari and Australia's Shane Byrne and Josh Brooks, who sit in the first and second place respectively in the championships. And finally, the Hull Stingrays ice hockey team have announced their designated charity for the new Elite League season. Hey Kids are a Hull and East Riding parent-child diabetes support group and support children and their families suffering with type 1 diabetes. And that's all for the sport. Remember to get in touch if you have any stories for me. Back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Well, Dan, I have to say, are you going to Cadwell Park on Sunday?
I won't be going
and
to Cadwell Park on
even.
Sunday because
No?
I'm at the KC Stadium watching Hull play Stoke.
Why didn't I remember that? I should have remembered that. Now,
Never
I
have
told you,
forgotten
I
that.
went to Cadwell for the first time last year, Bank Holiday Monday, and I absolutely enjoyed watching the Superbikes because I'm not normally a Superbike fan. But
I've got to say I am open to invites if anyone wants to invite me along though.
Well, if you have any stories, whether for news or sport, then email news@estuary.tv or contact us through social media, Twitter or Facebook, or pick up the phone and call Grimsby 01472 315 561. Until next time, goodbye.